DOTE.
Welcome to a video that gives you some idea of some new features and bugs fixed in DOTE. And we're specifically talking about DOTE version 1.1.0. And you can find this on our web shop and download it from there. So there are a bunch of things we're going to look at. You can see some of them here, but we'll talk about those a bit later. That's the transcript clips. We'll go through some other features first and then finish up on looking at some particular bugs that have been fixed that might have been bothering you. So first we should take a look at under the Media Manager. There is the option now when you add a file. Before you could only add one file at a time. Now you can add several files in the same folder and they will all be added into your DOTE project. And here we see we did this before and we have 6 files. They were added each individually. Now if they were all in the same folder we could select them all and import them one after another as a batch import. That should save you some time. Next we have up here not only import transcript from JSON, which is there for OpenWhisper, or exports specifically in a DOTE standard JSON file that we can import. There's also now import transcript from SRT, and what you'll see is a dialog box come up where if you have an SRT file which might have been exported from another piece of software, you might want to add a speaker designation to that SRT file because there is no speaker, so you can do that by default. And also you can remove punctuation or remove capitalization if you wish. You can toggle these on and off if you wish. Then select the file, find out where it is, and the file path will appear here, and then you can import to a transcript. The important thing is you can also do this for TV shows or films, for example, in which there is an SRT file, which is a subtitles file. You can import. Problem is that those files, maybe you don't have a clear idea who the speakers are, so the default will be whatever you put here. You probably have to go through and edit that. So it gives you some idea at least to import through another method besides importing a DOTE project or transcript and from JSON file. Another thing you'll notice is if we click here and we start editing, for example, I start adding some space, immediately we see unsaved changes. So now you have a notification appearing at the top of the transcript panel as soon as you've made some change to the file. If I delete that change, you see it's now said there are no unsaved changes. So it gives you some idea that what you're currently working on might not have been saved yet. So that should give you a more visual guide to whether you have saved or not. Another feature is under the help, we have check for updates. If I do that, you'll see we're already using the latest version of DOTE. This is DOTE version 1.1.0, and this allows you to check whenever you want, rather than the program checking every now and again to see if there's some change. No update which you could download. Other things we have is the integration with DOTEbase, which is our new piece of software. DOTEbase is not free. DOTE has a free edition which allows you some basic features. This version is licensed to myself, so it is a Pro Community Edition. That means I have the option here to create clips and delete clips at cursor and edit clips. Whereas if you are working with a free edition, all you'll be able to do is view the clips. You won't be allowed to edit them in any way or create clips or delete clips. And if you don't want to see the clips, here we have clips that have been created either here in DOTE or in DOTEbase. You can toggle this off and they will all vanish, so you won't have those anymore. And they won't appear when you export, for example. So these are only here in the transcript panel editor. So that's the difference between free edition and the Pro edition, and the button here to toggle between those, whether you have a free or Pro edition. And then if you wish to edit, for example, if this one here is, as soon as I hover over it, you'll see up pops this more information, the tags which are listed here, and then a notes full countdown sequence that I made. If I click here, then I can edit, and here you can see I can edit the current selection. I can work with the tags. I can change the tags, add new tags. I can add some text here, and I can change the style of the clip annotation, and I can add some of my own fields here. So I could change all of those if I wished, and I can also, if I select some text here, I might want to add one. If I say create clip, then I can add tags. As soon as I click, it gives me the tags that are available in the current project. I can add my annotation. For example, I could choose this one, researcher, and then we filled that one out. I can add another one, blocks, for example. I can choose the styling. For example, I want a highlight, a blue highlight. It could be, as soon as I click this, you'll see we get a swatch manager that shows me the swatches that are available in the current transcript and the default swatches, and I can make my own one up here. But unfortunately you can't save these or work with these swatches if your presets. You have to do that in DOTEbase. But here you can see some of the ones that might have already been selected. I'll just choose, say, this one here. Gives you an idea. I could modify that one or revert to previous color. And if I go back and now create, you'll see I've created one rather similar to this one. So here's the text. It's got these tags. As soon as I hover over it would show me some notes, but I haven't added any notes. What we're going to do is delete that one, and I can either delete it here or I can go up, delete, click at cursor. So as long as I've got the cursor somewhere within here, then I can delete that clip. If I say yes, it's gone now. So that clip has been deleted, no longer present. So you can see you can annotate, you can comment on somebody's transcript, your own transcript, adding notes. You can embed them, you can overlay them, you can have them crossing over. So for example, I could do between here and here. As it crosses over another tag, I could have multiple embedded tags inside other tags, clips inside clips, sorry. So that is a way of marking up, but there's much more explanation about this in DOTEbase, so go and look at the DOTEbase help guide and the video tutorials. In checkpoints, you'll see here I added some transcript clips. They won't be listed here. They won't be displayed, but they are tracked in the checkpoints, and the auto backups, they are tracked as well. So if I just go back to here, we'll see. So if you make changes and you revert, your transcript clips, if they've been changed or the lines have changed, then they will also be changed when you revert to a previous one. And when you import and export, for example up here you import a transcript from a DOTE file or export from a transcript, or you do that for export for a project, then the transcript clips, and if there are any media clips which you won't see here in DOTE but you will see in DOTEbase, those will all be exported and imported as well. So if you take the DOTE Lego demo project, the new version for version 1.1.0, you will see these clips when you import it into DOTE, because they are tracked in the export file. And we've already seen the color swatch manager. Notice also here when we click, you get some autocomplete of tags that are already present, other tags that you haven't already used. Those are only within the current project, not between transcripts, but in DOTE they are what we call within a DOTE space, which could be multiple transcripts and projects. So it's often better to do some types of annotation, transcript clip making in DOTEbase rather than in DOTE, but here you can do pretty much the basic stuff. Okay, one other key thing is when you have a transcript open in DOTE, you can open it directly from DOTEbase and have it open directly into DOTE. It will then be locked in DOTEbase, meaning your priority is to edit the transcript in DOTE. In DOTEbase you will be able to look at it and inspect it, but you won't be able to edit it while it's open in DOTE. That's so you don't make changes in DOTEbase and DOTE and then cause a clash. The other key things are, once we've finished on DOTEbase integration, is little bugs that we've fixed. We have fixed bugs to do with playback, to do with scrubbing. If we scrub on the timeline here, so if we drag along, it should update reasonably well and keep up to date, as you can see there. So we've optimized the video frame rendering when scrubbing and video playback errors that we had. And we've also done with, if you select across here, unfortunately before you could go too far, now you won't be able to go beyond here and select to some undefined place. So things in terms of selection are much more bounded. So there's also a little fix for an error in the export progress bar that wasn't correctly updating. So a number of things that you can now work with correctly. And you have now a brilliant interface integration with DOTEbase, and allows you to work with, you can see here if we go back up, work with a number of different types of transcript clips as we see here. These are circle ones. Well, unfortunately, if you are working with the free edition, you will be able to see these that other people have created, but you won't be able to create them yourself or edit them. You can just choose to display or not display them. So please purchase a license, and then you'll have to be able to use the full range of tools in the DOTEbase software, and you'll be able to do that in DOTE as well. So that's an introduction to some of the new features and updates and bug fixes in DOTE version 1.1.0.